My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to Monster Train 2. It's random, it's random. You know how it goes. It's random clan number 1, random clan number 2, random pyre. Oh god. Well. One of the reasons I have the pyre heart set to random is so that I don't feel bad when it gives me Pyre of Dominion, which is probably bar none my favorite. Remove train stewards and starting cards. Oh, card removal. Immediately draft 4 packs and then double each card picked. We've also got the primary banished and allied awoken, neither of them exiled version of their clans. We have 1 copy of Rising Rage, sorry, 2 copies, rather, of Rising Rage. Ascend, then advance a unit. Really good if you're trying to shift a unit, obviously, because it shifts the unit up a floor, and then it also shifts it forward, but also the units on the top floor are moved behind the unit that's advanced past them, so it even triggers their shifts. Also 2 copies of Steel Enhancer, 1 Ember, 0 Ember, thank you, to apply 4/4 to a unit, and then finally an Awoken Hollow frontline unit, 1 Ember 3 size, on summon gain 60 max health, on Rejuvenate, which triggers when healed, trigger, Cultivate 3, which gives 3 health and damage to the lowest health value unit on the floor. Serapaternus chosen of Entropy, so we're going to have to deal with the silences from you. So I'm going to need some good backline reach. Ooh! 2 copies of Everlasting Light in the base deck is really appealing. 1 Ember for a 3 damage equipment. On strike, apply Valor 2 to friendly units. I mean, it's really good on Fel already, who starts with multi-strike. But it's also especially good on a couple of the minions that exist in Awoken, but especially the Animus of Will, who starts with 2 multi-strike. It's also Deadly Plunge, 2 Ember to consume, deal damage to the front enemy unit equal to 3 times this unit's health and armor. That is a lot of damage, admittedly, in a world where we have Awoken Hollows and stuff like that, and we're, also working with Awoken frontliners. So that's actually really good as well. The only problem here is it's not a consistent generation of value. This is really good for nuking like 1 character. But it's not especially good for building up value over the course of a run. And then Punk Shredder, 1 Ember 1 size, Hymnist unit, enchants the other units on the floor with Trample. I don't want 2 of these. I'm going to take 2 copies of Everlasting Light. Restoring Retreat, 1 Ember to restore 10 health and descend a unit. Also good for shifting, admittedly. Engraft, 1 Ember, restore 1 health, gain 1 Ember, and draw an additional card next turn. Obviously, if you reduce the cost of this, it becomes an energy pump as well. And then Ensnare, 0 cost, apply Rooted 1 to an enemy unit, and draw an additional card next turn. We'll be taking Engraft. Engraft is also really good at triggering Rejuvenate triggers on characters, so it's also 3/3 for the lowest unit on the floor with the Awoken Hollow. Demonic Fledgling, 1 Ember 2 size, on strike, gain Valor 1, on shift, gain Rage 2, or the Steadfast Crusader. Ability Slam, advance, deal damage to the front enemy unit equal to this unit's current health and armor. We could find ways to increase your health, and then we can have, like, Steadfast Crusader slamming every turn. In fact, we could have a line of 2 Steadfast Crusaders, each of them trading off the duty to slam the front enemy. That said, I'm not especially enthused by it, to be frank. I really feel like my frontline units are going to want to be the Hollows. Give me the 2 Demonic Fledglings. Husk Hermit and Animus of Speed. Animus of Speed, 1 Ember 2 size, quick unit, attacks for 35 damage before the enemies get a look in, and then the Husk Hermit, 1 Ember 2 size, sweep unit, attacks for 5 damage across all enemies, and has 30 health. I think Husk Hermit is great here. It's a really good holder for the Everlasting Light, because it will get a strike for each of the enemies that it collects. Each of the enemies that it hits on the same floor. So generally, if I had to tell you how my floors would be going at the moment, we'll have a bottom floor with a Awoken Hollow and a Husk Hermit behind it. The Husk Hermit will have a Everlasting Light. Then on our next floor, we'll have Fel with a demonic fledgling behind. Fel will have the everlasting light. And then on the final floor, we would have just a demonic fledgling. And I guess the remaining Husk Hermit. That floor is not important. That's just excess. Realistically, getting both of the Husk Hermits behind the Awoken Hollow, so if I mini-stone the Awoken Hollow, if I get you down to 1 capacity, we could get both Husk Hermits behind you and give each of them an everlasting light. I'm forecasting too far forward for 5 minutes into the game. Let's click some buttons. Let's go champion upgrade. I'm going to try and take a line that I've never taken before, because I know that I am definitely drawn to taking very similar lines on this character. Thankfully, I'm not offered the permanent growth one, which I would have taken. Okay, so I haven't taken more than 1 level in Vanguardian, and I've never taken a level in Savior. I think I've taken a level in Savior, but I must have taken Savior at the very end, so it didn't reveal the next one. So Savior gives the ability Savior, Advance, gain 5 Valor, and then gain Armor equal to 1 times your Valor. There's also a Fel version with Revenge, apply Valor 2 to friendly units, Vanguardian. Considering I'm also part of the Awoken clan, I do think Vanguardian's a really good hit here too. In fact, Vanguardian would then become an incredible defender for Husk Hermit on the bottom line. Valor grants an additional armor per stack is absolutely what we want if we're looking for Vanguardian to work out. Quite pleased about that, frankly. Husk Hermit with Fel, then Awoken Hollow with Husk Hermit, then a single demonic fledgling on the top line. That's so much valor. That's so much armor. Oh, incroyable. Second demonic fledgling gives us enough to take down the top line. Double Engraft there. Those guys aren't leaving that line. So if I want to trigger some shifts on the top line, I could do that now by ascending and advancing our Awoken Hollow, giving 4 rage to both demonic fledglings. Entirely unnecessary, but realistically something that I'm going to probably want to do a couple of times over the course of the run. Yeah, I don't see a single world where this bottom line doesn't just kill him, which is exactly what it's showing it will currently do. Even more rage! I mean, overstacking the top floor? Actually? I think that's valid. So much armor. Another copy of Rising Rage? I mean, if I really do want to overstack the top floor that badly, a 3rd copy isn't that bad. Challenge to advance a unit, apply melee weakness to it, so it's much easier to remove that unit. I like that, certainly. But it shouldn't be necessary for us. Divinity, just apply armor Valor 10. I think that's really important so that I can just get Valor off to a really good start on a character. Like, if I can just reduce that cost and then make it intrinsic, that's great. Oh, 2 really good options here. I will note, Vinegrasp also has some utility in these clans, giving the ability to advance our own units if I strike one of my own units. Of course, at the cost of 3 damage. Restoration Detonation, 1 ember to restore 15 health to a friendly unit. Deal damage to the front enemy unit equal to 5 times the amount healed. Pretty good for getting the Awoken Hollow back up to a good position, but after that, our Valor is really going to be most of our health. So it's not going to do too much after that. Razor Sharp Edge, 1 Ember, apply 10 additional damage and 2 less health to a unit. Especially good way to buff a Husk Hermit. Merchant of Steel has a Woken banner next to it, and so does the Merchant of Magic. That's great. I do really want to go to... do I really want to go to Woken banner? Yeah. Merchant of Magic from removing Consume. Annoyingly, I don't have the -2 cost and gain Consume here, which would definitely be best. So if I want to use this, I have to re-roll basically at this point. Whoa. Oh. Hello, Steel Singer. 3 Ember, 4 Size, Summon, gain 80 max health. On Rejuvenate, gain +1 damage permanently. You don't seem like a good unit to me. I know you have the keyword permanently on you, but like, your cost is high, your damage is single target, your health is middling. I'm gonna take you. I want to figure out how to use you. -1 cost intrinsic or holdover. Holdover on Engraft is pretty good because it'll draw me an additional card every single turn. So it pays for its own draw, and it's just an energy pump every turn, so it's pretty useful for me. Intrinsic and -1 would have probably gone on the other Engraft or on Razor Sharp Edge, just so that I can pump up the damage rather, of a Husk Hermit on the first round. But especially if I get to the Merchant of Magic and I have the ability to give them like quick and +10 damage, that'll already solve that. Start a battle, enemy units appear on each floor. I'm not thrilled about it. But I can certainly survive it. And that's all that needs to happen. Now, I don't want to start losing a bunch of value in order to just have Steel Singer out. I'll play it when I need to play it. Top line, Fell, defending, a Husk Hermit. Bottom line, Awoken Hollow, defending, Husk Hermit. Middle line, Demonic Fledgling. Intent, it either dies or I move it up the next round. Oh, I don't even have the space to summon Steel Singer right now. 4 Size. That makes a couple of easier decisions for us. I want all the revenge to hit Bell. And then I do want Husk Hermit to have the Everlasting Light, so I do think that goes on you. And then I can engraft on the bottom line, 662. I think I might even benefit from Rising Raging one of the enemies here, allowing me to save my own line. There'll be much more damage coming into Fel next turn, but that's not going to be a problem. Fel will be fine with that. Granted, I don't have that many ways to heal the Husk Hollow on the bottom line, so they're probably still going to end up dying. But this gives Husk Hermit a turn worth of safety at least. See, this top line is now going to get ridiculous. I might have to use Razor Sharp Edge in order to kill a Collector here. I wouldn't be against it. It's 50 gold. Can't really chump block anywhere with the Demonic Fledgling. I can sack it though, because I'm not going to want it. It's kind of a dead card in the deck at the moment. Hey, we've actually managed to keep the Awoken Hollow alive just by the skin of its teeth. Heck, I'll give it Divinity. There we go. Play one Vengeful Shard. I'll take 1 damage. I was about to say, there's a non-zero chance the bottom line gets it. Ah, insane. All right, so bottom line is already winning the fight, so now I've got a good opportunity to summon the Steel Singer, playing my 0-cost Endgraft, giving me enough Ember to play the 1-cost Endgraft. Woo, 2 Rejuvenate triggers. You got +2 permanent damage. Hell yeah. Get God. Nice work, bottom line. Shielded Wing. On revenge, deal damage to the attacker equal to this unit's health. Steel Singer, the Awoken Hollow, whoever has full health, yep. Oh. So I definitely need to get quick now on one of the Husk Hermits, because otherwise it's not going to get to ever use its Everlasting Strike. Steel Enhancer again, Razor Sharp Sword again, and Sharpen, the ability to give 4 damage and 5 spikes to a unit. I don't really have Slay triggers on any units that really want to get them with spikes or anything like that. I do think I could easily take another Razor Sharp Edge or another Steel Enhancer. I do think I'd probably regret the Steel Enhancer. Actually, you know what? No. I have enough damage. Give me money. Merchant of Arms. As much as Everlasting Light and Shielded Wing are good, I can't really afford to play them in my opening hands. And I do need minion upgrades right now. Dualism and Titanite. In Terra Sol. I really wish that Dualism doubled the Cultivate trigger. That would be huge. And it doubles the triggers on the Fledgling, the unit that doesn't care. We've got Titanite. Take half damage on a unit. I like that on Awoken Hollow, but then I'd have to reroll and then I wouldn't really be able to do anything. And realistically, the things that I care about most are Multi-Strike and Quick. And Mini Stone. But Titanite ultimately is a very, very important long-term pickup. But you do what you gotta do. Atoms for Speed, Thorned Hollow. I don't believe I need a front line for another line, thank you. There's a reasonable argument to make for putting 8 Valor on Awoken Hollow. It literally is just like, at the start of fight, you now have 16 armor a turn. And that 16 armor is gonna defend for 32 damage. God, it makes it really hard to justify not doing it when you put it like that. I think I should also give 14 damage to one of the Husk Hermits and just lay that Husk Hermit on the bottom line next to him. Interesting. We could get the Tome of Evergrowth for the ability of Evergrowth. Every turn, you can use the ability Evergrowth for 3 regen and 3 sap on a unit. There's also Unnamed Tome, mute 5 to enemy units. I really like the idea of Unnamed Tome, just so that I can mute the deck trashing effects of some of the bosses. It's also One Hornstone, apply Fragile and Multi-Strike 1 to a friendly unit. I don't dislike that. It's just... it's really good on Fel, who eventually has enough armor that you aren't hitting Fel's health. Very powerful card. Fine. Fine. It's incredible. I'll take it. Ooh, Merchant of Magic next to an Empyrean Well. Some nonsense can happen right there. Archeon's planning to gain additional rage on my dime, no less. I knew that was going to happen. As soon as I summoned the Demonic Fledgling, I was like, I'm going to draw Steel Singer in my very first hand. It's going to be pretty embarrassing. Anyway, there's Steel Singer. First hand. I feel pretty embarrassed. But you do what you can, and not what you can't. Let's Shield of Wing, the bottom line. Now you're projecting damage. Gonna be Engrafting down there every single turn. Everlasting Light. Divinity on our front line. From the back line with the Steel Enhancer. By God, the Steel Enhancer! Oh, I can even drop my One Horn's Tome on the field. Bit early to do so, but I could. But I shouldn't. So I won't. 29, buddy, you got too much damage for me. In fact, you really do. Top Lord's gonna have some struggles. I'm gonna give you some 10 to 11 care. Courtesy of the Steel Enhancement. Let's go more Rejuvenation on the bottom line again. Well, at least we're kind of killing all of the enemies at the moment, so there's no one to siphon off of on the top line when you get up there, but you are doing 27 damage, which is the exact health of Fells, so one heal, just enough to keep you alive. Demonic Fledgling still alive, damn. Let's use another Engraft. Probably on the bottom line, realistically. And then Divinity on the top. Razor Sharp Edge is irrelevant here. I'll just drop the one Ember. Sorry, one Ember, one higher damage I would have otherwise taken. If I can get quick on the Husk Hermit, even if I have to bind like a Swift Steel Dagger to the Everlasting Light in order to get it, it would be incredible. Again, we've got Steel Singer in hand, but unfortunately this time I can't do anything with it. Gosh, I don't think I'm supposed to go Capacity here. Am I? No, you're the frontliner. We've got two Revenge lines. No, I don't need to go Capacity here. It's gonna be draw and energy. I think I could take energy at the first one though. If I make energy the first thing that I take, it makes it a lot easier later for me to put equipment into my opening hand. But also it means that I can summon Steel Singer on turn 1. Which, realistically, if I want to ever use the Steel Singer, I should probably summon it on turn 1. This bottom line's already doing a huge amount of work by itself. Damn, Death Metal in this. 4 Ember, 1 size enchant, gain multi-strike 1. Our top line is Fell with a... Oh, Steel Singer. You could have a Death Metal in this behind you. That's pretty fun. Top line is Fell with a Husk Hermit behind, so those could definitely gain a multi-strike from that. Curse of Twin Blade, equipment that gives multi-strike. Still pretty good. Shard Channel and spikes on friendly units deal additional damage per stack. I'm going to take the Death Metal Hymnist. Oh. Oh, really? For me? Do I want an Animus of Will? So I have two different ways of doing damage projection at the moment. Animus of Will is good at doing damage at a single target. But I don't need Husk Hermit on the top line. Realistically, Animus of Will is a much better holder of the top line. I'll take the energy for the deployment ember. My remains get back to healthy. Revenge applies valor 2 to friendly units from Vanguardian, including yourself. Spell chain and -1 cost, you say? I like that on Endcraft. I could also permafrost the One-Horn's Tome so that I can hold it at exactly the right time. But realistically, I'm gonna save the money on that. I don't need that. As for a dupe target, I am leaning towards that Endcraft I just upgraded. It's a lot of additional cultivate triggers and a little bit of additional card draw as well. Save some money and head to a Merchant of Trinkets with an Armory and a Herzl Sword next to it. Merchant of Steel is really important to me still. And I only have 2 more opportunities to get one, either right at the very end or next line. I think I'm going to have to go to the one next line then. Sorry, right before the very end in Ring 7 rather than in Ring 8. Still, I stand by the same decision. And it's been Prestone spawned on each floor. That's huge. That's the ability to trigger my own revenges on the top floor before the enemies come up there. Thanks, buddy. Kind of you. Well, please trigger your own revenge. You are the bottom line. Working Hollow, you go there. Animus of Will, you go by. No! You'll strike yourself down if I let you do that. Do I still summon Animus of Will? How can I avoid it dying? It would have to get hit by 2 steel enhancers on the same turn in order to prevent it from dying. Alright, Hearthcomb's going on the top line. In general, Animus of Will be better. Just not this turn. Engraft. Rejuvenate. I mean, Divinity to start sustaining the health of the bottom line is really good. Calcified Ember is going to be very easy to play one of these cycles. Does I have to? That's what I was about to ask, by the by. Do I have to play it this cycle? I don't think so, but I also don't think Razor Sharp is actually going to do that much work here. Compared to Shield of Wing, Everlasting Lights. Speaking of, we drew the Everlasting Lights. Ascend and Advance fail. Can't move them though. Oh boy. That unit's very healthy. He's going all the way to the top line. We're finally doing some good damage to the Scarred Sentinels now. I'm terrified. I've finally got the Penitent Breaststone down, so now I'll do some damage to the Scarred Sentinel, but I'm going to send 2 Sentinels up to the top line, and that's a classically not good thing to do right there. Thankfully, the next, and from then on, will be okay. Oh boy. That was a whole mess of that. Death Metal Hindus for the top line is 100% where we're going to go with this one. I was going to put it there and then Rising Rage, but I realized Rising Rage actually puts it to the front of the line, which is obviously not where I want it to go. Just enough? Just enough damage to prevent him from going up another line. Hell yeah. Oh, Steel Singer, I'm so sorry. I completely forgot that you're supposed to be my cultivate target. What have I been doing? What have I been doing? No! Let's give you Steel Enhancement and Divinity just to keep you alive. Yeah, that bottom line's gonna kill by itself. Let's... couple more heals on that bad boy. Get the chav out of the way, that'll do. Alright. Yeah, so you may sap my units, but you'll still take 40 damage every time you hit me because of the Shield of Wing. Lead Songbird. Valor on friendly units. Adds an additional damage per stat. It's not bad. Kinda hard to get it up to the top floor without hitting the Rising Rage on it. There's no way I'm going capacity for my second. I'll skip. Fire Shards, Edge Prior, and Wildwood Custodian. Wildwood Custodian giving an additional draw per turn for the cost of 1 Ember. I mean, I do like additional draw per turn, and I do have additional Ember. And hell, I even have a spot for exactly a 1 size unit to sit behind my Steel Singer. So everything is aligned for you to be part of my party. As much as I want to go to a Merchant of Trinkets, I need some Merchant of Steel upgrades. Thank you. Let's drop a Husk Hermit. Also get some Titanite for the Steel Singer. I'll even re-roll Multi-Strike. Sure. I'm gonna get the Steel Singer ready to transition into being a bigger, badder unit. I also do think 20 additional health on the Animus of Will is totally reasonable. It was gonna be pretty impossible to get me to take an additional unit there, to be frank. These two Demonic Fledglings are actually nothing. They are my Train Guardians. They're Train Stewards. I don't even respect them enough to know their name. Woken Hollow, Husk Hermit with Quick Strike on the bottom line. That's so good. I'm gonna get Steel Singer and fail out first. Everlasting Light hits the bottom line. Oh boy. Oh yeah. Don't need to summon a Husk Hermit. I mean, Everlasting Light is huge, but I also do really want Divinity, but I'm just gonna have to deal with having Everlasting Light instead. Because it's also really important. Shield of Wing time. Let's get our Endcraft triggers. Steel Enhancer gives us the ability to project damage to the backline, taking out the Collector, and now we're all set. I mean, I would love my my Animus of Will to come out, but we're already pretty comfy. Oh, there's the Death Metal Hymnist, who also wants to go on the top line. Animus of Will. Death Metal Hymnist. I'm gonna have to manually give Divinity to the Steel Singer. He's not gonna get it otherwise. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Engraft. 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 Do you like your +5 permanent damage? Oh, wow. Our bottom line is not completing the fight by itself. Imagine my surprise. Although, admittedly, I'm quite pleased about it, because it gives me much more time for buffing my Steel Singer. Drop another Divinity just to make absolutely certain. So they will get past the bottom line, giving me another full turn's worth of heals available for my my Steel Singer's permanent growth. I'm gonna get through 10 reanimates on you. And yes, it looks like we apparently do that with ease. Alright. Which, if I can do it with ease this turn, I can do it with even more ease next turn. So I'm gonna let you kill. You get another 6 reanimate, but that's not gonna be a problem with the amount of minions we have on the top floor. Oh wow, I only drew one of my Engrafts, so this only got me one more additional heal. Yeah, it's still 1 permanent additional damage. Still worth it, I think. Demonize. 3 Ember to descend a unit to blind below weakness 2. I quite like that. Is it necessary? I don't know. Liquid Courage would be pretty good, though. That's a really good setup spell, especially with a Valor 4. Yeah, give it to me. Cycle of Life. Apply 10 additional health and spikes 8 to a unit. Not bad. If I can pay for it, it's certainly worth it. Giving additional health to a unit, particularly good on an Awoken Hollow, who's doing shielded wing damage to enemies based on their health. Just talking about your Merchant of Magic. Oh! -2 cost Consume, and then remove Consume. I don't think I want to hold over any of those, though. Doublestacked Divinity. I know Doublestack One Horned Stone was right there, but Divinity is 40 armor a turn. Like, this is actually sick. And also, I have a lot of multi-strike. Multi-strike is not what's missing from my deck. I'll also give Divinity Intrinsic a -1 cost. And then 0 cost, perhaps, the Liquid Courage. Getting us all the way down to 0 Ember. Celestial Alcove. I was really hoping for 2. Whoa! Leaky Pen! -1 energy per turn, draw 2 additional cards per turn. With the amount of engrafts that I have in the deck, I'm pretty sure that taking this and then energy is the correct choice. Now I take Leaky Pen as a double draw relic. I will now max out on draw occasionally. I'll even overload very occasionally. But this gives me the ability to take another energy as well. I'm not taking capacity. You can't. I did it recently. You know? I don't want to do it again. Don't make. But it'd be nice in the opener to also be able to play Animus of Will. As well as maybe a Shield of Wing. Shield of Wing I want to play as soon as possible. I also want to play Divinity literally every line. I'm gonna need Husk Hermit to have the Steel Enhancer so that it's projecting enough damage to take out the Cherubs. Because that was a Cherub getting eaten and dying from that. The fact that the Ravenous Zealots attacked twice? Yeah, the Shield of Wing has to go down, sorry. I'll just have to draw back into Divinity. We're still getting the Vampiric Cherub in the back line, so we're comfortable with that. Everlasting Light, so we're growing. Damage Shield Valor 4 is definitely necessary at the moment. I can spend some time focusing on your permanent growth, I think. Burn out a Calcified Ember, Spikes of Life. Heck, I'll throw a Steel Enhancer down there as well, just to out the health. Yeah, I just need a little bit more defensiveness on Fel. I worry that the next line, when Cherub comes up, Fel dies. I'd love to prevent it if possible. Perfect. Looks like it's being prevented. Death Metal Hymnist. Ooh, that 15 Titan skin on the Chosen Bastion is really annoying there. I do think I need to get Death Metal Hymnist on that top line. There's also a world where I focus exclusively on damage here. Because, like, the Titan skin, that's what the Chosen Bastion's not taking damage to. So if I did Divinity on our backline, that's What? Both of you are attacking Fel, so Fel will trigger double revenge, giving 4 Valor to the backline, meaning you're attacking for 12, which means the Animus of Will does no damage, so it's 3 from each, so it's 17 by 3, 51 damage gets through with the Divinity just by itself. Then add Razor Sharp Edge and Steel Enhancer on top of it. This was never about killing the Chosen Bastion here. It's about making sure the Chosen Bastion doesn't do a trillion damage to my Pyre. Bottom line is okay to take care of itself. This midline is certainly having problems. I would love to go back to and resolve the problems with the midline, but let's deal with the thing that's going to hit us in the Pyre first. It hit us with 21 damage twice because it also got the buff from Kael, Lord of Cherubs. That was nightmarish. Sucked. Just enough health to get the Steel Singer to survive. Let's give you some Divinity. Boom. Back on top, baby. Woo! Another Razor Sharp Edge, because definitely our damage on top line is not where we need it to be. Perfect. We're killing Chosen Bastions on top line as well now. We're good. I'm not super keen to take 2 Pyre damage just to play a Death Metal Hymn this tier. I strongly suspect I don't need to. For these reasons, and absolutely no more, I'm just not going to. I need to find a way to full heal the Awoken Hollow in the middle of a fight. It'd be huge for it. The more health it has, the far better it goes, so we'll play it like this. All those Engrafts give us enough Ember to be able to play the Death Metal Hymnists. Sick. That'll do it. Oh, taking an 11 damage to their hit. I was really hoping for Wildwood. Adaptive Mutation, though. I haven't even seen this yet. 2 Ember consume, restore a friendly unit to full health, and then swap their attack and health. That's... how dare you. I guess that's fine for the Steel Singer, maybe? It gives you a lot more damage. I don't want the Awoken Hollow to do that. Oh! Hang on. No, it takes their current damage and then assigns that as their health. So if the unit has a huge amount of, oh, I don't know, Valor, then it assigns, so it would be 15 plus however much damage I have in Valor gets set as the health, and then the health is full healed and set as the damage. That could be good, it's just not good yet. I'll take it though. I was thinking about it. You know what I was thinking about. Merchant of Arms, Forgotten Boons. Ooh. Worth noting, this is my last Merchant of Steel available. Worth also noting, there's one upgrade slot available on an Animus of Will. Everyone else that I really care about is full. Vanguardian, on revenge, gain 4 Valor permanently. Bloodthirsty Blade. On Slay, this equipment gains 1 damage permanently. Not super necessary. Upgrade something to be in the opening end. Give that to the Shield of Wing. I think this is totally appropriate. Grant silence to non-boss enemy units. Absolutely. That's an incredible way to nullify the bottom line. Equalizing rings. This unit's damage is always equal to its max health. Steel Singer, you would get 120, which is fine. How does that work with adaptive mutation? Because it... Huh? So Working Hollow has 15 health. 15 damage, 75 health, right? I give it the Equalizer Ring. It now has 75. I adaptive mutate it. It now has 75. It's just the Equalizer Ring. Equalizer Ring brings both of them up to the value of the lowest. Well, to the value of the health. But then it also prevents you from growing above that. There's a world where I could take that and then combine it in later. I don't think it's that important to me, though. I'm going to relish the opportunity here to remove 2 cards from the deck. In terms of dead weight, we have a Husk Hermit that I can literally never summon. And we have a couple copies of Rising Rage that realistically never get played. The chances I'm going to a Merchant of Arms in the next area and therefore another double removal space is... it's not. The chances are not there. There is no chance I do that. I'll be heading to the Merchant of Magic with the additional money in the Empyrean Well, but because of that, that gives me the ability to remove another card from my deck right now, knowing that I'm not going to run out of cards worth removing, because I still don't want to remove those Steel Enhancers. I need the additional pump from those from time to time. -1 energy per turn? Sure. See if I care. Oh, I'd love to be playing Shield of Wing right now. There it is, the silence. Adaptive mutation, and you have no damage. You have no health, rather. We need to give you Valor first, obviously. See? Now you've got 43 damage, and if I swapped you, you'd have 43 health. So more Valor. Although I guess I can just adaptive mutate the next line. And frankly, I probably should. Because the Husk Hermit is attacking quickly, I don't have to worry. Shield of Wing, bottom line. Engraft. Gives us the ability to play Zone of Silence on the bottom line as well, so I don't have to worry about the enemies silencing me anymore. I'll silence their silencing. Oh, that's annoying. The collector is currently extinguished from on death, gain 100 gold. So I don't gain any gold for killing it now. Rude. Steel Singer doesn't need anywhere near what I'm doing to him. This is 100,000% for only my own satisfaction, basically. No, I do want the Avowed Gladiator to get to the top line, because I really do want to start triggering some revenge on Fel as well. Need to get some damage available on that top line. Because we will have 2 500 health units. That's going to happen at some point. The more health I can give to you, the better off we'll be. Alright, I'm gonna start laying out the Vengeful Shards at this point. It's kind of ridiculous that I haven't been doing it so far. Yep, especially considering I'm not gonna be healing in the final line. Oof. Oh, okay. I've made some bad decisions. How am I gonna nullify damage on Zapire? Well, that's a problem we'll have to deal with once we get to it. We'll have to burn that bridge once we get there, that kind of thing. Let's give this Hosk Hermit some multi-strike. Just for additional valor gain on the bottom line. Nice work down there, buddy. Some good valor. These clans go together quite well. Benediction, apply valor 2 and damage shield 1 to friendly units. Kind of expensive, but admittedly, I kind of have the ability to play expensive cards, especially after the One-Horned Tome has gone down to the deck. Spike of the Banished, 3x valor. That's also something that I could afford to get some value out of. What do I need to cast it for? I need to cast it for 7 before it's better than Divinity. Never mind. It's also another copy of Shield of Wing if I really want to get that too. A copy of Shield of Wing for the Steel Singer in the midline, especially if I'm going to give the Steel Singer the adaptive mutation, I think is reasonable. Ensnare for rooting enemy units to the ground. Preserve Thorns for generating stings, or Bramble Lash. Deal damage to the front enemy unit equal to 10 times the spikes on friendly units. No thank you, I do not do spikes. I have some, granted. I don't want that. -1 cost intrinsic for adaptive mutation so that I can throw it down on turn 1's pretty good. Let's have a look at the Merchant of Trinkets. Spells gain an additional upgrade slot. Now I can make something that's already double upgraded intrinsic. I mean, Divinity is already intrinsic. I don't need to put that intrinsic. Cycle of Life intrinsic, not bad. I do think Adaptive Mutation's actually the one that wants to take it. I do hope I get Consume Removal, though, as well. Lower the cost of Divinity once more. Reroll. Holdover. Holdover for a spell chained in Grafts? I will be drawing maximum cards every single turn if I do that. Heal your Pyre for equal to a spell's cost. There's an argument to say that I should put that on One Horn's Tome just so that I can get 8 additional health over the course of the next 2 battles. Front friendly unit at the start of each floor gains 15 health at the end of each turn. Yeah. That'll do, actually. I don't think I need a second adaptive mutation. Well, I want it. I want a second adaptive mutation, but I don't think I really... actually, hang on. Hang on. What does a second adaptive mutation do for me intrinsically? A Working Hollow. Comes out at, 8 Valor as well, so you're 2375. And then you become a 75-23. And then the 75 gets increased by another 8 to 83. So you're an 83-23. And then I adaptive mutation you back again, and you end up with full health. It's fine. I think the answer is just get another big Divinity. The double-stacked intrinsic apply Valor 20, and the Valor 20 applies 40 armor every single turn, does make us pretty unkillable. Right. Everlasting Light. Get out to Engraphs off immediately. Liquid Courage for the top line, I think. Defense against 35 incoming damage. Gives us some Valor to start with. Bottom line is going to gain its own sources of Valor right now. I'm going to drop the Vengeful Shard for health's sake. I'm going to drop a Divinity on top line so that you attack as well, causing you to trigger your own Valor gain from the Everlasting Light. And then midline, I'm going to give you Valor first. Our damage is pretty good. Solve their survivability problems first. Yeah, how dare you silence my bottom line? Why don't you get silenced, huh? Why don't you tell me how you like it? I don't think so. That'll absolutely do. How dare you give me all these curses of entropy? Also, it's really annoying because the chosen Arden's on the floor where I want to play all these endcrafts, so I'm gonna have to miss those. These two Curses of Entropy also need to be played because otherwise they deal way too much damage to me. So Adaptive Mutation gives you 50 damage and takes away, ooh, a lot of max HP at the moment. Yeah, because you're big sapped. Woohoo! I like being able to play my spells. Death Metal Hymnus for the top line. Unfortunately, I shouldn't play One Horn's Tome here. Actually, it's really good for the bottom line. Divinity is calling my name, though, but I'm gonna get the One Horn's Tome out for multi-striking on the bottom line. That's also going to be additional Valor growth for the bottom line, which is also especially relevant. Oh, I don't even have enough damage to kill a 4 health unit in back line. Although, all of the units that you end up buffing don't really matter? Yeah, you're literally only buffing units whose damage I'm already ignoring. Ooh, I could have low health. No, I can't have low health, obviously. The Shield of Wing. Even more Divinity for our bottom line, thank you. I mean, ideally, they never leave this bottom line. I mean, Adaptive Mutation on the top line actually now gives a bunch of damage to Fel. And your health is still completely fine. I'll do that. It was really good in the first game when you gave a bunch of rage to a character. Because then they turn around and become very healthy and also still have the rage, enhancing their damage again. Same as what's happening with Valor here, but obviously in the first game with different clients. I think that'll get him. Emblem of the Exiles is so good. Very happy to have it. I'm a little worried about Dominion's damage. Eight turns. I've got 8 turns to kill him. If I perfectly prevent all other fire damage, I have 8 turns to kill Dominion. I could mathematically calculate right now whether or not I can do it. I'm not going to. I'm just going to start trying to do it and see if I can. I think that's probably a better idea, mentally speaking. Okay. That's just a full heal for our Steel Singer at this point via the adaptive mutation. That's great. We'll do that. We're going to need a source of divinity starting on each of our characters if that's possible. I think getting Animus of Will on the top line to start gaining additional Valor on revenge triggers is really important. I think the other two definitely have to be Divinity on the other 2 lines. Everlasting Lights on the units that need them. Honestly, permanent growth on Steel Singer anymore isn't really important. I probably want to go for Cultivate triggers on the bottom line after this point. Take Liquid Courage on the bottom line. Hell yeah. Zone of Silence for the bottom line, incredibly important to us as well. Start our Engraph triggers on the bottom line too. Zone of Silence, gotta get rid of the Curses of Entropy, unfortunately. I'm going to give Valor to the unit that's otherwise incapable of generating it himself. If I had any of the relics that were like, when you gain Valor, gain additional Valor, and there's a couple of different ones, things would be a lot better for us. I don't necessarily know that we're screwed, I just don't feel especially confident right now. I like Shield of Wing on this line as well, because it now means that the Steel Singer is just directly attacking Entropy. This is really good. Like, dealing 600 damage to Entropy across all of our lines this turn is very encouraging. Divinity, my fire. I have to play Pilot any turn. There's no two ways around that one. Direct damage to the Pyre is needed. To Entropy is needed, rather. Certainly not to the Pyre, actually. If I could avoid that, that'd be great. I'm realizing in real time exactly what you're thinking about right now. Realized it a couple of turns ago, to be entirely frank. I don't have the damage to kill the minion. Certainly not in time. And you know what? The Holy Stone would have saved me. Holy Stone on that One-Horn Stone. Play it in both the final fight as well as this fight. It would have changed it. Catastrophic. Yep. Everyone else dies on the right turn. It's just the Pyre. Heartbreaking. Let me heal it. Let me give it damage. Steal enhance it. I don't know if we would have lost without the Emblem of Exiles. I suspect we wouldn't have. Yeah. Well, that's all they wrote. I'm still pretty pleased with the run. Very good run. Kills Seraph, no problems. Just needed a little more health to go through. So what it would be. 155, 165 next turn. Response to this, hit next turn. So yeah, I basically needed... Wait, hang on. You'll do 3 this turn. You'll get a response. I'll get a spell next turn, but then you still hit again. So I would need 7 health to survive. So yeah. That would be One-Horn Stone played in each of the lines with the Holy Pyre Stone. Would have done it. I really should have looked at my Pyre Dominion health value as a much more important timer. I could have, even before going into the Seraph fight, realistically calculated that this was going to be the case. An average Pyre, a Pyre with average damage, takes around 8 to 9 turns, inclusive of playing Pyre Lights, to take out Dominion. Which means you expect, without sap or magic power damage dealt directly to Dominion, or without any other mitigating factors, you expect to take around 27 to 30 damage. 24 to 30 damage around there. And I was just under that at 23. I should have gone for the safety option rather than trying to style on him so hard. You gotta admit, trying to style on it's pretty fun, though. Divinity. Big old Divinity card. Incredible power in that one, and there's a second copy as well, just in case the first one get lost in the shuffle. It's nice to have Steel Singer. I swear you must have done something over the course of the run, but I'm pressed to figure out what it was. That time I accept my death. How dare you, Dominion? I was actually planning on surviving that. Adaptive Mutation and Liquid Courage both pick up a Gilded Border. Oh, Banished Clan? Yeah! We're becoming more like the demon every day. I like it. Heaven was pretty stuffy. Now I can fully spread my non-existent wings here. Hell yeah! And it's way more metal down here. Even my wings are made of them. Soldiers, attention! Hello, Commander. What brings you here? What brings me here? What are you all doing here? Shouldn't you be training with the others? We're just enjoying our freedom. You said you were the one who said this place should be less restrictive than heaven, Commander. In hell, we can be true to ourselves. That's what you told us. That is not what I meant. You still have your duties. I expect you to head to training immediately. Or what? Will you clip our wings like your brother did? No, I will never force you into obedience. Unlike heaven, all of you are here by choice. If you wish to leave, you are free to do so. But freedom isn't just the right to do as we please. It's also the responsibility to do what's right. Ask yourselves this. Is this how you want to use your freedom? By shirking the very duties that keep us all safe? When you put it that way, Commander, you're right. We're sorry for slacking off. Yeah, I think we got a bit carried away. We still want to fight with you. I'm sorry, Commander. I shouldn't have brought up your brother. I promise. We'll go to training right away. Very good. I expect to see you all there. Now, off you go. They are certainly a handful. For the moment, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Monster Train 2. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. Top that's a series playlist for all my content on the Game Pass, present and future YouTube recommendation down below. Streaming past the names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsyPlays. And above the thanked in. A special thanks this episode to Eloise. Hopefully you'll be enjoying yourselves, and hope we'll see you all next time.